life. That's the problem. Okay, now I'm not going to get distracted. Okay, so once again, your question on Instagram is stuttering genetic, environmental factor, or anything else? Anything else, to be precise. How does a person get stutter? Very simple. Let me explain to you. And before I explain, do you see the picture behind my back? Do you recognize these birds? These birds are called parrots. What does it mean? Parrots. Parrots are birds that can speak just like humans. They don't really understand most of the time what they're saying, but they can observe the humans speaking, okay? And they can precisely imitate. They look at the people's mouths. They listen with their ears. Somewhere they have ears, okay? They have perfect hearing. And they imitate precisely the same actions with their speech instrument, with their speech muscles. So just like parrots, young children learn to speak by imitating the speech of their parents. I'm going to repeat it. I want you to understand it clearly. This is what naturally should happen. When you were young, when you were a child, you were born 100% normal, healthy. Nothing absolutely was and still is wrong with you. You're perfectly healthy still. However, when you were born, you looked at your mommy, you looked at your daddy, right? And you started imitating your parents' speaking behavior. You started doing it. This is why they say thousands of students who have come to me, who have stopped in my classroom, online class, they all have told me the same. When I was young, I was speaking just fine. But then something happened and I couldn't speak. Something happened. So everyone has their own life and different experience. So this something happened all boils to the same problem. Something happened in your life, guys, and you stopped imitating your mom's and dad's speech tools at work. You stopped looking at their mouths and imitating the same movements of your speech apparatus, of your speech muscles. I don't know what happened in your life, but something did happen. There are so many reasons. I can give you just a few if you want. Let me know if you want to hear several reasons why a child all of a sudden stopped looking at mommy and daddy and imitating the way mommy and daddy spoke. Okay, I'm going to give you a couple of examples. Example number one, and it's actually, I'm writing about this in my new book. This is a story about one of our real students. Okay, so imagine you were, let's say, 3, 4 years old. You were talking, you were totally fine, maybe 5 years old, maybe 6, 7 even, okay? So you were really a happy child, bubbling, talking, and always looking at your mommy's and daddy's mouth. But one day, your daddy came home and he was really tired. You didn't know any better. You just rushed to see your daddy. Happy, Daddy! Hi! So good to see you, Daddy. You know what happened in my day today? You wanted to talk to your daddy. You wanted to share your experience. And you were probably very noisy. You were making loud noises. And because you wanted to share with your daddy all kinds of information. But at this moment, your daddy, so tired. He goes, "Shut up! Don't make so much noise. Don't you see I'm tired? Shut up!" And you all of a sudden go like, "Oi, sorry, daddy. Sorry, I'm not gonna do it anymore." Of course, you love your daddy. You don't want your daddy to be disappointed, number one. And number two, you don't want to hear all kinds of scolding from your daddy, bad words, because it depends on what family this accident happened. Okay? Some children get something like this: "You're gonna scream one more time and I'm gonna kick your ass." Of course, a child would be really, really scared. And it's enough only one time when a child gets scared and stops looking at his dad's mouth. That's it. He's afraid. He's afraid that some bad words are going to fly out of his daddy's mouth. And from this moment on, the child first stops looking at daddy's mouth and learning to speak after his daddy. The next day, maybe he's afraid already of looking at his mom's mouth. The next day, he goes to school and he doesn't want to look even at his teacher's mouth. So the bottom line, instead of looking and at the mouth of normally speaking people, the child looks away. He's scared of looking at the mouth because bad words are coming at him from the mouth, may come. He doesn't want to do it. And from this moment, he begins, instead of learning words, normal oral words, he begins looking at the letters. Letters, because that's what they do in schools, in universities. Instead of teaching children and older people who start, instead of teaching them how to speak, how to pronounce accurately oral words, which are the movements of our speech instrument, speech muscles, moving parts of our mouth. Some people call it speech apparatus. Instead of teaching people to speak accurately, just like through imitation, which is the only natural way, just like parrots. What do? They give you written words. Written words. And what are written words? Written words are words written with your hand or typed with your fingers. They have nothing to do with speech. It's nice to know how to write words, but it's absolutely impossible, very difficult to say the words written with a hand or with our fingers typed. To transform the written words into oral words, it's really difficult. By the way, this is why when you went to school, how many years did they teach you to read? How many years? Read, write? A lot, right? In some countries, it's 10 years. In other countries, it's almost 12 years. And still, even after 12 years, a lot of people, a lot of students I have met over these 12 years, they don't know how to read. Their reading skills are very bad because it's very, very difficult. And let me explain to you what written words are. Written words are pictures. Pictures, images, okay? And guess what we have over here? What is this that we have? Our mouth, the whole speech tool, the whole speech pipe, the way I call it. It's a player. It's a music player, sound player. Now I have a question. Listen carefully to my question. Is it possible that the player that can play only sounds of music, is it possible to play pictures on your player? It's insane. It's absolutely impossible. But guess what? Since you stopped imitating speech of your mommy and daddy, you started attempting to do this. Looking at the written word and attempting to play the picture of the written word through your mouth, through your speech tool. It's impossible. And this is the main problem of millions, tens of millions of people on the planet are still struggling. They are still stuttering. This is insanity, okay? But nothing personal, just business of making money on confused people. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. Okay? So Balin 15 wrote, may I speak accurately now? Second, may, of course you may. Yes, you may. Yes, you may. Let me go. I see. Okay. Let me see more questions. Oh, yeah, you wanted more examples. Miss, I can speak accurately now. Yes, of course, I know you can. But I also use my lips, not just my tongue. Is that right? We speak with a speech tool. It's one organ. You can't divide lips, tongue, and other parts of the speech organ. It's one speech organ. And you know what's funny, Belen? I stopped looking for the name of speech organ in English language. I simply call it in Russian language with the Russian word because it does exist. The only language where this word exists is Russian, and I also learn another Slavic language. The word is usta. Usta. Usta means the name of one speech tool, one speech organ that works at the same time in unison. It's a few muscles all together. They work as one organ of the body. And these speech muscles work automatically. So, Belen, if you want to understand what it means, I think I know who you are. You got to take the class, at least one day class. Okay, so is it like childhood trauma? Please correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, Carlo Beculu. Yes, that's exactly what I meant. That's exactly what I meant when I was talking. I was telling you the story about the little child being scared. And how many traumas in this life do our children have? Everyone goes through trauma somehow. Belen, the tongue and lips works together, not both lips. You gotta know, usta means the muscles of three parts of our mouth. It's our bottom, the muscles of our bottom jaw. It's the muscles of our bottom lip and the tongue. So it's basically this part of your head. Okay, so whatever drops down, this is what I'm talking about. I'm explaining to Balin, don't know how to say it, because bottom lip, not lips. We have only one lip. Doesn't matter. top lip is continuation of our heart palate. It doesn't matter. Some people speak totally not using it at all. So we produce our speech with a dropping movement of our speech muscles that are moving down, down, down. Okay. Carlo Becchilu. Yes, it was. I am talking about the what I forgot what you asked me about. Okay. You asked me about the childhood trauma. Yes. So all the traumas, all the problems basically adults have, they all take root in our childhood. Something happened in our childhood and we still struggle even growing up, even becoming an adult. Okay. So this is normal, natural. So instead of going to various speech therapists, instead of believing that something is wrong with you physically, physiologically, that you are sick, you are disordered, stop believing all these lies. You gotta understand. It's a lie, the biggest lie on the planet, one of the biggest lies on the planet. There is absolutely nothing wrong with you. See, Belen is here, but I know he has improved a lot simply because I know he has bought my books and we did have one conversation with him. One. And I told him, if you want to learn like everything with 100%, you don't need to go for such a long time. Balin, for how long have you been going through studying, learning, reading here, asking questions? For how long? A year? A year and a half? 3 days, all you need, my dear. 3 days. Because this is the process of awakening. Awakening. You believed all kinds of lies. You come to me. I give you the truth. And all of a sudden, you become enlightened. You become awakened. You awaken from the nightmare of lies. You were living and sleeping, having a nightmare. You believed that something was wrong with you, that you needed to get a treatment, that you needed to do something, I don't know, some cure, some procedures, some training. No, no, and no. When they tell you that you need the training, remember what I told you. Humans learn just like parrots. Do parrots go through training? No, they just look at someone speaking and imitate. Bottom lip, yes. I was a good reader until I started stuttering in 4th grade. Exactly. To be a good reader is great, of course. I'm not saying it's bad. It's great. It's very useful. But reading and speaking, writing and speaking, two absolutely different skills. 100% different skills. And if you attempt to speak by the way the word is written, you block yourself because it is impossible. You are attempting to play on your player a picture of the word, letters, syllables, whatever. Okay, you got to understand this is the bottom line. Why people develop stuttering? Because they don't imitate their parents' speech. Instead, they try to play on their sound player pictures of the words. Pictures. Impossible. Okay, I just simplify everything to explain to you that that's the problem. That's the biggest problem. But I'll tell you, you can speak normally right now. Right now. What do you need for that? Okay, This is what I am about to discuss today. Okay, Carlo Beacchilo, but I can't remember what kind of trauma I have been through. Of course, you don't remember because you were young. You got to understand this fraudulent business has been has been built by someone who totally understands human psychology. They understand that young children are unconscious. I mean, they're very low conscious little people. They, whatever happens in their life, they don't know. They don't remember. We remember ourselves from the time we begin speaking. Speech makes us conscious. Speech. But when we were young, we don't know. Okay, Saufin Asala, I see you asked a question. I'm going to just go through this question and then I'll get to you, okay? Yeah. So you don't have to remember what happened in your early childhood. I'm just telling you the bottom line. At some point, maybe it wasn't the trauma. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was simply your parents were not perfect speakers and you were imitating their speech, but they were not perfect speakers and you imitated their bad speech behavior. I don't know. You write to me, are your parents perfect speakers? Do they speak well? I hope they don't repeat words. They don't stumble. They don't go like, nah. They don't do all of these things. If they don't, then that's not your case. There are many, many other case scenarios why children stop imitating their parents. Stop. Maybe when you were young, you were just learning to read. At that time, you were not ready to learn to read. Maybe they started teaching you to read too early, and you got confused between spoken words and written words. There are so many reasons why children may develop may go in the wrong direction to develop their speaking skills. Hundreds of reasons. I'm writing a book about this. Actually, the book has been written. I'm translating it. I have translated already half of it. So difficult to translate. It's almost like writing a new book. Okay, so let me see what else you wrote here. Okay, Belle and Miss Anna, one thing I just realized is that speaking is actually so easy and simple if your head is not full of trash. Yay! Congratulations! This is exactly what I am talking about. Once again, Belen point 15 is the one who has been in communication with me for quite some time. Okay, he got my books, he read my books, and he is now not stupid. Sorry to say this word, I don't mean to be mean, but that's exactly the case. Millions of people who stutter are stupid about speech. They are not stupid about anything else. They're smart, they're normal guys, normal people. But when it goes to speaking, they're completely empty-minded. They don't understand. What does it mean to speak with ease? No problem. With accuracy. Easy. And that's exactly what Belin wrote. One thing I just realized is that speaking is actually so easy and simple if your head is not full of trash. Thank you, Belin. Thank you. I'm so happy you realized that. Okay. So let me go to Saufian Asala. Why, when I am alone, I speak fluently, but I struggle in front of people? This is a very, frequent question I have. Because when you are alone, do you communicate with other people? When you are alone, you're just mumbling. This is not normal speech. Not normal speech. You're relaxed. You're not bothered by other people. You're just, you let your usta, as I said, usta is the name of the speech organ, usta. You just let your usta move in the way Mother Nature created them, created it. Just translating from Russian. Okay? So you just do it naturally and you don't stumble. But when you're in front of other people, you begin thinking, oh, what people are going to think of me? What I'm going to do? How I'm going to say it here, there. Your attention goes absolutely away from natural speaking. And you don't know how to fix this problem because you don't know what does it mean to speak and what does it mean to pay attention. I mean, what to pay attention to when you speak normally. You have no idea. What is it that all normal people, even parrots, what is it we all do when we speak without any problem? You don't know this, okay? So, and this is your only problem. This is why most of the time when people are alone, they speak okay. I mean, they may even stumble, but they don't consider it as stuttering. But the moment they're in front of other people, they begin giving their attention elsewhere, everywhere else, but not to their speaking. Why? Because they don't know where to put their attention. They have no idea. Okay. Suafian, I hope I answered your question. If you understand, write me. Let me know. If not, I am here to explain it with more words. Okay. Balin wrote, Miss, how do we refocus our attention on our usta after we are thinking? Once again, normal people never think. When we speak, we never think. What is it that we're doing? Take the class. I can't explain it to you right here because I have to see what do you mean by thinking. Normal people mean selection. Selection. Thinking means looking a lot of options because there are always a lot of options in front of us when we are walking. Let's say if I were to describe the room I'm sitting in, I would be seeing a lot of different objects: closet, bookshelves, books, pictures, window, right? I see a lot of things at the same time. But when I want to speak, when I want to say something, I need not to think. I need to select. What is it I want to say? What word? What word? I use my attention like this. Closet, then I move my attention. Bookshelves, I move my attention. Window. This is what I do. There is nothing to think about, Belin. Nothing to think about. Your usta are made to produce any word, but selecting of this word is conscious action. Okay? If you do not select, I don't like the word think because it's kind of can't understand what it means. If you have not selected what oral word, not written, oral word you want to say, you haven't selected it yet, your usta are gonna be like stuck, like a device. You don't know. You don't know. Usta has no brain on itself. Our usta is just like the heart. The heart is beating and you don't need to do anything, right? Do you need to do anything with your eyes to make sure they see? No. Do you need to do anything with your ears? to make sure they hear no, no, and no. Do you need to do anything with your speech muscles so they could play the oral word? No, you don't need to do anything. All you need to do just to have that oral word in your memory, the melody and the movements of your usta. And this is exactly what I teach in the class. Do you understand that? So, Balin, sorry, I keep repeating the same. You must take the class. Ask your parents. Go, get a job. You're already in high school. Get a job. Earn. One day of the class, you live in the United States, it's only $2,000. You can afford it. You live in the United States of America. Go get a job and earn this amount of money. Take at least one day class. You have learned already a lot. And I believe one day would be enough for you. But I don't know. Maybe not. Okay, when you think, I think about what to say because I am distracted and not focused on speaking. Exactly. Exactly. But when you say thinking about what to say, you don't know what it means. Because in reality, speech is only one oral word. One oral word. What have you heard from your speech therapists, from your teachers, from your parents? They all tell you, speak in sentences, speak in phrases. This is all a big, fat lie. Lie, it's impossible. Impossible. Our usta is made for producing, playing only one melody, one voice melody, which is the word, the whole word. Because even one word is made of several movements of the usta. And those movements have nothing to do with single sounds, with syllables, with whatever else they tell you. It's all wrong, wrong, wrong. So the bottom line, guys, if you're still here, someone was asking me questions. What was your name? Kurlobekilu. If you are still not sure what I mean, you gotta come to me because I do offer free Zoom calls. Free, you don't have to pay. I stay with students for free, for nothing, up to 30 minutes, up to sometimes an hour, because my job is to make sure they quit thinking that they need treatment, that they need training. No, they don't. All they need is to have the oral word in their memory, to build their oral vocabulary. I'm sure you have a big written vocabulary of pictures of the words, written words. I know you do have it, but you don't have the vocabulary of oral words. Oral words produced with your usta. In Russian, we say usta's words, words that produced with usta. It's just all in Russian language. In English, everything is so confusing. Okay? Ah, Kush. Okay. Yes, I just realized when I speak accurately, I don't even think. It just happened automatically. Exactly, Balin. You got it. You got it. When I speak accurately, I don't even think. It just happened automatically. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Truth to perfect speech is understanding what speaking is. Because millions of people who stutter worldwide, they don't understand what does it mean to speak automatically. Automatically. You don't need to think. You don't need to do anything. Just let your speech tool called Usta do the job, just like the heart. You don't push your heart to beat, right? It's beating automatically for the whole life, and you don't have to do anything. The same is your Usta. Let your Usta work. Don't stop it from the work. But how is it possible? I don't see any questions. Looks like everyone is understanding me. No questions other than Balin, because Balin just had revelation, right, Balin? Okay, I can't believe it was this easier, but it took me 18 years to learn this. I'm so mad at the system. Nah, don't be mad. Don't be mad at the system, because the system is created for people who, how do I put it, to make money on people like you. The system confuses people and then gives them the solution that doesn't work, that makes them stutter even more. That's what the system is created for. It's a commercial system. You got to understand the system to make money. Because when a child doesn't even remember why he started stuttering, he doesn't understand why he's stuttering, and the adults in white robes say, you gotta read the word to fix your speech. And the kids they're naive. They kind of listen to the adults, and they do what they are told to do by adults. And this is the moment when the confusion takes place in the mind of a child, young child, who confuses letters, sounds, written words, oral words. It's a mixture of everything, okay? The confusion in the mind stays and becomes even bigger, because every time you attend a speech therapist, a teacher, your mommy and daddy keep pushing written words on you, you become more and more confused. And what's the purpose of this? To make money. This is the way people on the top of the pyramid of the system, speech therapists are here. They and others, of course, other doctors, they make money. Okay? So if you are ready to leave the system, then come to me and stop believing what they tell you. You are not broken. There is nothing wrong with your speech. You are 100% perfect. Health-wise, there is nothing wrong with your brain. There is nothing wrong with your breathing system. Your lungs are perfect. Nothing, absolutely nothing is wrong with you. I hope you hear me out, okay? So here is Balin, what he wrote. Balin, I wish you were on YouTube. I could have saved your messages here. Okay, I think the system used the placebo effect on people who stutter. Placebo is the opposite of, nocebo, you meant it. Use the nocebo effect on people who stutter. Nocebo is the opposite of the placebo. It's like telling someone you're sick or crazy and then believe it, and they become sick and crazy. Okay, something like this. I don't like coming up with weird words, nocebo, placebo. I'm just explaining in simple words. A child begins to stumble, which is totally normal. 3, 4, up to 6, 7, 8 years of age, a child is still learning to speak. There is normal when children stumble, when children make mistakes in their speaking. 100% normal. But a child makes a mistake, and someone says, you know what, let's say a teacher tells to the mother, you know what, your child today stumbled several times, just check if everything is right with your baby. Take him to a speech therapist. What do you think your parents would do? Of course, they're going to grab you and bring you to a speech therapist. And here, the speech therapist would do the following. They would, one of the two, if you already know the letters, if you are, let's say, 6 years old, 7 years old, you can read, they would give you words to read, ask you to read words and see if you stumble. They give you long words that are really difficult to read. Of course you stumble. And what's the reaction of the speech therapist? The reaction of speech therapist would be, you see, your child stutters. Are you understanding me, guys? Write to me if you are understanding me. I need feedback. Maybe I don't like explaining things in a too difficult way. I want people to understand me. Okay. Dinesh Kumar wrote, hello, madam, how are you? I'm fine. I'm just busy with my book. Writing, translating the book. That's why it's good if I go live at least once a month. Okay? I don't have time for this, truly. Okay. So the moment the speech therapist hears the mistake, natural mistake that a child made while reading the long word that he has never read before, okay? And the moment the speech therapist says, your child stutters, he needs a cure, he needs a treatment, it's better if you start earlier. That's what your parents hear at the speech office when you were young. They heard that. And what was their reaction? Of course, please take care of my baby. We don't want our baby to be sick with stuttering disorder. We want our baby to get rid of this, to prevent stuttering, right? Besides, well, hear me out. Until 3 years of age, at least in the United States of America, speech therapy is free. The government is paying for confusing your child. Okay? So your child keeps coming to speech therapy and keeps destroying his speech, keeps forgetting whatever oral words he has already learned up until this age. He is beginning to forget because he keeps looking at the letters. He keeps trying to push written words, pictures through his player, sound player. You gotta understand, we don't have a printer here. We have a player. It's a totally different device. Okay? So let me see what else. Hi, ma'am. Saching one. I'm sorry. I can't read, guys, your names. Okay. Bellen wrote, I have the money. I just need to get the bank card now. If you have the money, ask your parents to help you. Give them the money and they will be happy to service you, to help you. I'm sure it's not about, I'm sure your parents have bank card. Why don't you use their help? It's not, don't be ashamed to ask for help. Like Balin is working really hard. He has earned the money. See what he wrote. I have the money. Then ask your parents. Give them the money. They're going to put your money on their bank card and help you pay. And you would not be hanging around in this in this podcast and these live streams of mine. You don't need it anymore. Okay? When I see people on my live streams, they come to me, I no longer stutter. I am a former stutterer. I'm like, why are you here then? If you are a former stutterer, what are you doing wasting your time on my live streams? Because let me play for you one more time the video I created this morning, because I didn't play it for YouTube people. So I see that 3 people are still with me. So bear with me. I'm going to play this video for you, okay? Right here. Look at it. And I'm going to switch this, okay? And I'm going to play this video. Check. This is what getting rid of stuttering looks like. Watch.
Erase
Stutter.
annoying stuttering and enjoy your perfect speech in only 3 days. Erase annoying stuttering and enjoy your perfect speech in only 3 days.
Did you understand? This is how stuttering, it's just like awakening. You understand the truth and you begin following the truth, observing the truth. You learn the natural speech norms that all people on the planet are observing without even realizing that. You come to any normally speaking person and ask, what do you do when you speak so beautifully? What would be the reaction of that person? He's going to look at you like, huh? What? I just speak. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just speaking. This is called normal speech. Do you understand that? Okay, let me see there. Sachin wrote, hi, ma'am. Okay, Balin, I think stutterer have to look on the good side, at least they're not a little kid anymore, and their conscious level is higher, so it's easier for them to learn. You know what, Balin, I'll tell you the truth. I really enjoy working with young children. It's so much easier to get through their mind because you tell to a young child, do this, and he begins doing it. When you work with older people who have accumulated all kinds of lies from everywhere, guess what you have to deal with? You have to deal with a demon sitting in their mind, sitting in their head. So many lies. They believe that it's so hard to get through. This is why I always invite my mentor, Mr. Snishko, to be part of the class in the beginning of the class. He's always present in the beginning of the class. Sometimes he stays with me for a couple of hours, sometimes for longer, because I need to kind of kill the demon in the mind. The demon means a whole bunch of lies. The demon feeds off your negative energy. The demon wants you to believe that you're broken, that you cannot be like everyone else on the planet. We need to kill that demon. And then everything goes like, the progress goes up, up, up. No barrier anymore. Because let me repeat one more time. You have your usta. Do you? Write to me. Do you have your usta? Do you have the brain? Do you have the container with air? If you have all these natural parts of your oral speech tool, I like to say the word instrument because it's like a musical instrument. If you have it all, then you can speak right now without a problem. So all you need to do to speak automatically, you need to have all these 4 tools for oral speech. I will list them. You need to have your usta. Do you have it? Yes, you do, right? Okay, you need to have your usta in place. Number 2, you need 4. You need to have your usta. You need to have your oral words, a sufficient vocabulary of oral words. Do you have it? No. Your vocabulary is made of written words, so this remains a problem. You need to have, okay, usta, oral words. You need to have and know how to use the meaningful pause for selecting the next speech subject of speech. What is it that I'm going to talk about? It's called the meaningful pause or semantic pause, better translation. And you need to have selected already the speech subject. Speech subject is the subject that you want to talk about. These 4 tools of naturally normal speech is a must. And of course, you need to understand how our attention works, how we can select only one tool at a time to use. So this is what I do when I teach my students. I teach them all these 4 tools for oral speech. I give them these 4 simple, logical oral speech tools. And they begin using these 4 oral tools, and their speech becomes normal instantly. Did you understand the word instantly? Not tomorrow, not in 3 days, instantly, right away. So for 3 days, my students, all they do, they just get used to learning these 4 natural tools. And guess what? These 4 natural tools are used by parents. And they do the same by young children. Every person speaking normally can use those tools. And the moment you have all the 4 tools, it begins to work instantly. How can a habit change instantly? Very good question, Sajan. Let me ask you another question. Imagine you have a bad habit of smoking, okay? Bad habit. You smoke every day. One day, you made an agreement with your hand. This hand will never touch a cigarette. You grab the whole pack of cigarettes and throw it to the trash can. Since that moment, this hand will never touch the cigarette. How much time does it take to make this decision? Right away. And since that moment, you keep living the life smoke-free. Every time you want it, you go, nope, my hand is not going to touch the cigarette. I'm going to keep living smoke-free. Did you understand it? I'll give you another example. You have a habit of getting to work. Every day you wake up in the morning and you go to work. Some people drive to work, other people walk, but let's say you're driving, okay? I don't know if you drive, but let's imagine you're driving to work every day, the same road, to work, from work, the same way. But today you woke up in the morning and you heard from the news, I don't know what country you're living in, but in the United States, you may hear from the news, or you may go to your app and you may see in the app that the road that you take to work every single day is under construction, or some accident happened. You have a habit going the same road every day without thinking. But this moment you see there is an accident. How much time will it take for you to switch a bad habit to another way to perform the action? You simply go another road. You choose another road. Because what you have, millions of people on the planet have a bad habit of the action. It's a bad habit to perform the speech action incorrectly. I call it non-oral action. Non-oral. The action that you guys perform, not with your usta, with anything else, everything else, but not with your usta. Some people move their eyebrows. Other people move their body. Someone may move their stomach. I mean, you guys use all kinds of muscles in the body. You go with your eyes 100 miles per hour like this. I see it all in my class. What is it, the compensatory strategy you have come up with? And you do it, I mean, when you were young, you have come up with this. And you develop a really bad habit. And you believe that it's helping you. That's what you believe. You are not aware that it's not helping you. Because the only thing that can help you is when you learn to move the organ that has been created, has been given to you by Mother Nature. This organ is called usta, moving muscles of your mouth. Usta, usta. Okay? And when you use your usta, I mean, when you have the oral word in your memory, the melody of the word, your usta will instantly imitate it, will instantly resonate it, instantly. Okay? But if you keep thinking how to do it, if you keep trying to push written words in your mouth, of course, you can't do anything about it. It's too difficult. You got to understand, stuttering is having a difficulty. It's too many difficulties. Okay? Okay, Belen wrote to me, my parents might just steal my money. Oh, I am sorry. That's kind of parents you have. But again, Belen, understand, if you have this kind of attitude towards your parents, it doesn't come from nowhere. This kind of parents who raised you. I am not here to blame your parents. I mean, they did what they knew, what they learned when they were babies. They learned to do it. But the bottom line, if you stutter, it means your parents didn't do a good job raising you. They didn't teach you to speak well, because transferring their speech to their children from usta to usta, from the parent's usta to a child's usta, this is the responsibility of every parent on the planet. If they didn't do a good job, then they didn't do a good job. That's it. And I'm not here to blame anybody. I just want you to understand that yes, you can begin speaking without stuttering right now. Yes, Sajan, I'm tired of talking only about the tongue. It's called usta. Usta is, I have a picture somewhere, but I don't know how to share it here. Usta is this part of the body. From here to here, okay? That's what we call, it's a set of muscles which can never be separated. They work as one organ in unison. It's the usta of our low jaw, low lip, and the tongue. They, all three parts, all these three muscles work together. And there is no word that I could name it with. This is why I'm learning. I mean, I'm using the Russian word. When my students come to me, I go like usta, usta, and they learn it. The new word, that's what it is. This is usta. This word, unfortunately, doesn't exist in English language. There is the word mouth, but this is not really the correct word, because the mouth is just a hole. That's what the mouth is. It's just a hole. But we need moving muscles of our mouth, the ones that drop down. Even the top lip is not part of speaking. Okay, only the bottom part of our mouth. It's called usta, sajan. So, unfortunately, I don't know. Let me know if you guys in your languages have the word that indicate only three muscles: lower jaw muscles, lower lip muscle, and the tongue muscle. Do you have the word, that special word that you can call, okay? That you can call these three muscles. I don't know any other language other than Russian and some Slavic languages. Okay, let me see. Kurlobekilu. So to sum it up, going to speech therapist is not the solution because they only teach you to speak by reading, and reading is different from speaking. You're a smart dude, Curl Kilo. I'm going to tell you even more. The reason why you should never go to speech therapist, because by teaching you to speak by looking at the letters, at the pictures, you destroy your oral speech. Every time you go to speech therapists who have no idea what oral speech is, the reason I'm saying it because I spent 30 years on being a speech therapist. Most of these years was in Russia. And then when I moved to the United States, I also work as a speech therapist for the school district in Los Angeles Unified School District. So I had no idea what oral speech was. I didn't know. I was also giving children things to read, and I thought I was helping them. So speech therapists are very confused people. They may be nice people. They may have a big heart. That's why I'm not even scolding them. I'm not even against them. Not a problem. They are doing what they have been trained to do. But unfortunately, no speech schools, no universities, no department of speech ever teach specialists, future speech therapists, about the oral word, about the usta, about the attention, about the subject of speech. They don't teach this. The four tools I've listed: usta, usta's movements, meaningful pause, and the subject for speech or of speech. These four tools, they don't teach them. So speech therapists don't know that what they are teaching, what they are doing with their clients, they are destroying their speech even more. Their job is to turn a young child who comes first to a speech therapist. The job of a speech therapist to turn him into a chronic stutterer. They want a person to remain in the system for the rest of his life. A little by little, pay. Because first, when you come to a speech therapist, it's free up until 3 years of age, at least in our system. And when you are in school, public school, I think the public system is paying for a special services, okay? But then a child continues to struggle, grows into adult, and after that, he's going to begin paying for the rest of his life. Okay, so this is extremely important to understand. You want to go to a speech therapist, you can. And I am happy if you feel that it's at least a little bit better, but understand that what you learn there is not reality. You learn there to keep destroying your speech, because speech is producing oral words, not written words. Okay? Okay, so let me see. Miss Anna, what was the third one? You know what? You gotta listen to. Okay, Oh, yes, the pause. That's my manager said to me. I speak too fast to the point that they don't know if I use period when I speak. And they also said that I only have one intonation when speaking. Oh, God, what a confusion in this message. Too much confusion. Yeah, you've heard something. It means that you said manager. I don't know who you're calling a manager, speech therapist, or whoever. So something is there. You understand that in Russian we say that one little spoon of gasoline will spoil a big bucket of honey. So, yes, there could be some rational information, some logical information. But then they begin saying, giving you written words, they begin talking about intonations and other craziness, okay? And you become confused. What is intonation? Intonation is our reaction to whatever happens at this moment in front of us or in our head. It's our reaction. I teach my student to express intonation in oral words. Oral words. So it has nothing to do one intonation, two intonation. Intonation is our emotion. It's natural. If I'm angry, I'm going to be angry. If I am happy, I'm going to be happy. So it's what I experience at the moment. Do you understand what intonation is? And again, it's about one oral word. One, not phrases, not sentences. Okay, third one is the pause. Actually, it's okay. You remember the fourth two. Guys, it doesn't matter what you're gonna know. I mean, you don't know. You don't have oral words. You may have all the tools, like you will learn my words now, but what's the point? You don't know them. You don't know what I mean when I say meaningful pause. What does it mean? You may have all kinds of incorrect information, a lot of misinformation, a lot of lies about the pause. You don't know what it is. The way I teach is totally different. Just take my word from what they teach in speech therapy classes. It's different, okay? Because they always teach people who started to speak in sentences. They teach to speak in phrases. So it's all, okay? It's insane, okay? So you may write it down. See, I'm not even hiding. I know what are the four tools for normal oral speech are. I know what they are. I can repeat. That's the first one. Usta. You have them. You have it. Usta. Usta's word. Oral word. Meaningful pause. Speech subject. Do you even understand when I say speech subject? What does this mean? I just recently worked with one student. He did not have any speech problems. He was surprised when we told him. But he had a big problem with selecting meaningful pause and selecting the subject of speech. We worked for 3 days just on this. We didn't even address the first two. We worked on this too, because that's where his problems were. It's very, very personal, very unique. Each person who stutters has a different demons in their heads. Okay? Okie dokie. No worries, bro. All good. That's the fourth bail in 15, the subject matter. No, it's not. Okay, you can call subject matter, but it's not. It's the subject What is it that you're going to speak about? Okay, usta, oral words, movement of the tongue, not only the tongue, meaningful pause, speech, subject. Yes, yes, Balin. Okay. I'm fun, but put this information in my notes. Okay, okay, no problem. Like the pause to select the next word. Okay. Well, you don't know what I mean by that at all, because it requires practical work. Sometimes if you pause too long, people are going to interrupt you. If you pause not enough, you're not going to come up with a word. So you got to understand what I mean. You need to take the class at least one day. Okay? My God, this thing says that I'm low battery. Close. Actually, we are almost done, right? Let me put it. Okay. Yeah, I put it on leash, on the leash. Okay. So I don't see any more questions. I guess we're going to turn to, I mean, what time? Okay, I'm over an hour here. I hope I come back in a month because I truly don't have time to do it. Okay. Misana, the live pause, I didn't hear what you said. I just said that you don't know what I mean by meaningful pause. You don't understand me. You will learn it when you come to the class. I don't want to give too much information because what people do, they grab it and they begin interpreting. I don't want you guys to interpret what I said. I want you to understand clearly. Is your program free? No, of course not. Nothing that is helpful is free on this planet. Nothing. You got to understand. Because when I work, it's my time, it's my life, it's my knowledge that I have invested in learning things I know, my wisdom. I've been working for 40 years of my life. Okay? Yeah. Free is Balin is explaining everything because he's been through the free call. And Balin is a young child. He's still in school. Okay? And his parents can't help him. So he has decided to help himself. I respect that a lot. Okay? And by the way, quickly mention, here is another book. I mean, the book I have written, this book is free. If you want to have anything free, I have 2 books that are free. You can download them from my website. Okay? This book is free. This book is free. This is a very skinny book, thin book explaining what stuttering is and who invented it. The story of stuttering. Who invented this story? Why and where? I don't know if Belen read the book. It's just a few pages, very thin book, but I do recommend you go to livestutter-free.com and you download this book. It's just mostly pictures. I am the teacher and I think in pictures. I always give this. Okay? So, once again, the another book is this. Another book is I also didn't write it much. I read all books. See, this is why Balin is ready to take the class because he understood the information I am spreading. Okay? So this book is my conversation with this young man. He was 18 years old when he came to me. He didn't speak English. He didn't work. He was a severe stutterer, sitting at home hiding from the world. All he could do is You can watch the videos of him. I have 3 videos about him on my website in the testimonial area. One video after the 3 days of the class, another video after 2 months after the class, one video after a year after the class. Okay? But this is my conversation with this gentleman for 2.5 years. It wasn't a problem for him to collect the money. He was able to collect 6,000 American dollars. Young kid, 18 years old. He worked really hard. 6,000 American dollars. He was able to collect in 6 months. He worked very hard. But it took him 2.5 years to learn English. He couldn't take the class because he couldn't speak English. So what I am doing is here. Of course, it's not free, but it's free for, information is free if you're smart and you can get it somewhere. But if you are adults and still didn't get this information, still didn't discover this information, you need help. And there is no one on the planet who can give you this help. I'm the only one. Everyone else will tell you, here is the written word, keep reading it. Keep reading it. Everyone else will be pushing written pictures on you. They will not show to you, explain to you how Usta works. They just don't know it. They don't know the natural norms for production of the oral word. They don't know it. They will not tell you how to build the vocabulary of oral words. So this is why when you find something that truly need that, collecting the money is just a matter of time. Some people can collect money quicker than others. We're all different. So usually my students, when they learn about what I do, they just throw away all these ideas of finding information for free, okay, finding the truth for free, and they just simply focus on getting a job, making money, investing in themselves, and then getting my 100% success guaranteed. It's very simple. I can't guarantee anything when I am not teaching a student for 3 days. But what can I do? Okay, so you are lucky, Belle, and I will read those books too. Of course, you're going to be lucky as well. You know when we're lucky? When we help ourselves. Do you want to see a person who can help you with anything, any problem you have? There is only one person who can help you solve the problems. Do you know who this person is? Look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. See, like Sujan just wrote to me. Charges. Oh no, that was Reed's Hamza from Facebook. Charges. That's all they understand. What do I have to pay? Doesn't matter. The first question should be different. What is it that you do that truly helps, will truly help me to begin living just like a normal human being? What is it that you do that others can't do? But instead of that, Sujan wrote, charges? You come to me, schedule the call, Zoom call with me, and I'll explain to you about everything. Charges. Money will be the last question you should ask. Yes, it's an important question, of course, because you need to know how much to earn, how much to borrow from the bank, from your parents, from your friends. This is what my students do. Okay. Of course, I encourage people to get a job and work and earn the money. But sometimes situations are different. Sometimes I'm dealing with young children. Of course, they don't have any money. And the parents are too stingy. They don't want to pay, like in Ballin's case. Okay? Exactly. Carlo Becchilo wrote, myself, nobody else can help you. If you're going to do the job like Hussein did, this guy, he did all the job. I was just directing him. When he learned that he needed to study English, when he came to me, he used Google Translate and he wrote to me that he was going to kill himself. I'm like, why? You want to kill yourself because you don't know English language? Learn English language. There's so many free apps. It's very easy today to boost your English language skills. And then when he learned that he needs to pay $6,000, he again wrote to me, I want a way out. I want to kill myself. I'm like, really? Get a job and work. Some people earn money in 6 months, some in 6 years. It doesn't matter. It just all depends on how much you want to improve your life, how much you are sick and tired of this stupid thing called stuttering. It's a lie. It's a lie. It doesn't exist. Okay? Okay, Bellin wrote, Miss Anna, how do we stop anticipating that we are going to stumble? You got to take the class. Get busy with this. Then you're not going to have even time to anticipate, because anticipating is what? It's a selection. You select to anticipate weird thing instead of selecting the word that you want to say. You anticipate thinking on weird things like anticipating. And once again, when you have developed the oral vocabulary, it's right here, okay? When you have developed it, you will never have any anticipation. Because once your star knows what to do when they hear the melody of the word, your star already knows what to do. It's an organ. It works automatically. Do you understand that? When you hear the word in your mind or whatever, you select the word somewhere there, your star works automatically. If it knows the oral word, not the written word. Okay? So Sujan wrote, does fluency shaping work? Of course not. Of course not. Fluency shaping technique is a technique. Look at these guys, parrots. Do they use any technique? Do they use any fluency shaping technique? It's crazy. And what's the word fluency actually mean? What does it mean? Do I speak fluently to you? Do I speak fluently? Sujan, answer me. I'll just answer. No. I don't even care about fluency. Because fluency, if you go to Wikipedia and enter the word speech fluency, you know what they're going to tell you? That it's amount of sounds, syllables, letters you say together. It's absolutely impossible. We have only one usta, and it moves at one moment of time. It moves one movement. So you can't move one usta more than one time at one moment of time. But one word has several movements of our usta. So if you use fluency shaping technique, you will never speak normally. Never. Because it's a technique. It's abnormal way of speaking. Normal way of speaking is when usta moves automatically. Learn to do it automatically and never even worry about how to speak, how fluently speak. It's a weird word, fluently. I mean, it doesn't make sense. Normal people have two purposes when they speak. Two purposes. Are you ready? Two purposes. Purpose number one, to say the word accurately. Purpose number two is to do it with ease, with comfort, never have any difficulty. So we speak with accuracy and ease. That's it. We never ever think about fluency. That speech therapist pushed on you, fluency. You ask your speech therapist, Suzanne, if you're still there, ask your speech therapist. Do you yourself use those fluency shaping techniques that you are teaching me? If your speech therapist is not a stutterer himself, then of course he'll tell you, no, I don't. But they're teaching it to you because you are paying. You are paying for your money. They give you all kinds of techniques. Fluency shaping, breathing, relaxation, light therapy, sound therapy, massages. I mean, all kinds of stuff that you would buy. Anyway, guys, I don't see any more questions, and it's already, wow, an hour and a half. Maybe I'll come live in a month, maybe, but maybe not. I'll see if I have time, because it looks like I'm going to have another student next weekend, so I will be busy. Okay, so once again, go to livestutterfree.com and schedule a call with me. Schedule a call. It's free. You don't have to pay anything. And in terms of money, I'll explain everything to you when you see me and when you understand what is it exactly you're going to pay for. Okay? Lots of success to you. Lots of love. Escape the matrix. Leaves the system. And at the end, I'm going to play my video one more time if you don't mind. Okay? Let's go.
Erase annoying stuttering and enjoy your perfect speech in only 3 days.
Okay. Lots of love to you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.